I read this quote that says, "A person without purpose will only focus on pleasure." And I think this sums it up really well and the current state of humanity. It's so easy to only focus on pleasure and kind of going after your desires. And this is also actually hindering you from finding purpose. Because as long as your mission is to get pleasure and you want satisfaction and these things in life, you will block yourself from having a purpose. This weekend, I had an interesting event. I went to the cottage with my friends, and most of these people live a life without a sense of true purpose. That's how I see them. And one interesting thing is that if we start talking about ideas and things that we could do and make out of our lives, it's really common to just make a joke out of it and kind of not take things seriously, because that would mean that you have to take responsibility. I would say that seeking out pleasure and living a life with the goal to just have pleasures is actually a place of fear. It's kind of running away from things that you could actually give you fulfillment, and you don't want to take responsibility because of some negative emotions that may come up. You may fail, you may embarrass yourself, you may do all kinds of negative things. And this is why people choose to live without a purpose. But if you've been living this pleasure lifestyle, you probably know that there's a really dark side of this whole lifestyle. And I know this really well because I used to live this lifestyle full on, 100%. I didn't care about anything else than my own desires and my own pleasures. And it always ends up in this loop. You have fun, you have a great time, and then you end up feeling like shit. You've used all your chemicals and well-being things with alcohol and drugs and all kinds of stuff, and then you feel totally empty. And this emptiness, for me, it has been a catalyst to actually start doing something. But I know that there's so many people that have these internal blockages that prevent them from actually taking action on the things that could improve their lives. And they end up going around in circles in this kind of pleasure pain circle. And I don't say there's anything wrong with that. I just say that life could be so much more. Because I know from having deep conversations that these people, they aren't that happy. They're happy when they're hanging out with friends and when they have these pleasurable moments. But when they live their ordinary day-to-day life, it's huge pain. And I believe that there's another option, that there's something you can do to start following your purpose. Because the pleasure and pain cycle is kind of eating your soul. It's just there for the ego. It's just there for the mind. And I've seen both sides. And I know it's not worth it in the long run. And luckily for me, I have a child, and that has helped me a lot. And I understand why some people feel that there's no way out from this pleasure pain cycle. But there's always a hope, because you can always start to do some kind of service. And I think the solution to getting out of this pleasure and pain circle is to start helping other people, start doing some kind of service, because that gives you a real sense of purpose. If you're only living for yourself, you won't be fulfilled. I know that's a bold statement, but I truly believe in this because I've lived it. I know. I decided when I was like 15 years old that until I become a father, I'm just gonna focus on myself and doing whatever I want. And I did it. And it was a lot of fun. I have great experiences, but the transition from this kind of loose cannon lifestyle into a responsible adult that I aim to be, it has been really tough. And this is why I understand that most people won't go through that pain because they are already in so much pain. Why would they go through something that's even more painful? That doesn't make sense. It just makes sense to continue with the pleasure. And the problem here is that people think and see their future in just short terms. If you are willing to suffer and go through the pain of feeling these negative emotions and sitting with them and accepting them, I'd say it takes 2 to 5 years to kind of get out of the pleasure and pain cycle. And I don't say that you can never enjoy life and do things like this. I say that when you have a sense of purpose in life, when you have some kind of direction, you have some kind of goals, it actually gets better, these pleasure and pain cycles, because you're a visitor. You aren't locked in that cage. And this is what I've managed to do. And sometimes you need to step back and get totally out of that thing to realize how you can do it in a balanced way. Because life is here to be enjoyed, and like one ultimate purpose of life is to experience things in different ways and forms. The problem becomes when you repeat yourself too much. And this is the pleasure pain cycle. It's always the same. It's always the same. Even if the pleasure source may change a little bit, it's always the same. Only by getting out of that, because it kind of becomes your comfort zone, but getting out of that with help or without help is the only way you can start to realize that there's more to life. There's things you don't know. There's things you don't know. That can be really inspiring. I even get more sense of purpose when I understand that I can be a bridge from this pleasure pain cycle into something more purposeful. And that gives me a sense of purpose. If I can help even one person to get a little bit out of this cycle, to do something more meaningful with their life, that they feel a sense of meaning, that they've achieved something, then I've achieved something. And I think in every aspect, in every niche, in every category in life, we need these bridges. The more I live this purpose that I'm doing now, and I try to go out and do different things, I realize how important this is. I also realize that the reason why this isn't a popular career is because it's really difficult. It's really difficult to get people to understand that they even have a problem. And only by accepting that you have a problem, you can start to kind of change it. And this is where I come in. My coaching and even this content is for people who are kind of fed up with their current situation, and they're like, there has to be something more. And oftentimes it has to go through some kind of tragedy. There's some death, or there's some breakup, there's some big happening event in your life that kind of wakes you up and be like, yo, there has to be more to life. And I've gone through a couple of these in my life. I've always wondered why I had to struggle this much. And now I understand. When I look back, I can connect the dots. I have a lot to give. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of ways to get over these really difficult situations. I'm just gonna take this chance to do a shameless plug. I have a coaching service. I'm doing donation-based coaching. 2 sessions donation-based. And if you want to continue, then we can see what's up, and especially if you're someone who's in between of the old life and a new life, I know that I can help you. It's about having courage. It's about daring to step into this new life because it's unfamiliar and your body will resist, your mind will resist. There's so much resistance. Doing that alone can be really, really difficult. And that's why I'm here to help. I want to make it so easy to join because once you get the realization that you are able to override your familiar, the things that you are used to, your old beliefs or old habits, you can actually change your life to get out of this pleasure pain cycle. Life gets so much better when you have a sense of purpose. It's a thing that you won't believe before you experience it. And I know because I wasn't that guy. I thought that of course you're just gonna live your life with as much pleasure as possible. I even have a friend who said like, what's the point? Like, I can't wait to get into a kind of this elderly home and just do drugs and fuck shit up. It's like, what? My sense of life is that when I'm old, I want to sit on a porch. I want to tell my grandchildren all these stories of what I've done and be an inspiration and just have stuff to tell about. And that's real purpose. So if you feel a calling, there's a link in the description. You can answer a short questionnaire and apply for this donation-based coaching. I would love to talk to you. I would love to listen to your story and see if I can help you. Because life with a sense of purpose is so much more fulfilling than the pleasure. And then you can add the pleasures in once in a while and it will kind of just be double as good. So that being said, this video is for you who suffer a lot and is willing to get over it and change your life in a new direction. That's it for this video. My name is Mitz, your future purpose, here to help you find more fulfillment, joy, and purpose in your life. See you in the next video. Peace out.